Hey everybody, I'm Cupid. This is Courtney.
Court for short.
Court for short. I call her Courtney because that's how I've known her. But sometimes I do think about calling you Court.
You can also call me Kaleidoscope Court. I'm thinking of that being in my band name.
I know that you guys noticed this in front of us. This is what we're going to talk to you about today. This is not alcohol. It's non-alcoholic beer and wine. So what we wanted to talk to you guys about today, I'm sober, 100% sober. Courtney is 100% sober. And we wanted to have the experience of being able to drink something when everybody else is drinking something special that makes us feel like we're still getting drunk, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though we're not. So we ended up starting non-alcoholic Coronas. There's all kinds of non-alcoholic beers. I looked it up. We have Rayleigh's near us, which is a grocery store. And Rayleigh's has, I don't know, there was like at least a dozen different types of non-alcoholic beers, different name brands that actually sell non-alcoholic beers.
Yep.
Or zero is what they call some of them. Zero or non-alcoholic. We also have non-alcoholic wine.
This is the rosé.
This is rosé. So we're experiencing our, yes, let's show them the bottle. Let's see. It says alcohol removed wine. So this is a company that makes it in our area free. I think that's how you say it, or maybe it's Frey, maybe it's French. Frey. I don't know. But yeah, so that's our non-alcoholic stuff. So what we wanted to talk about today is how alcohol is actually, how it affects your mental health. Now, we are on medication, so alcohol doesn't necessarily affect us the same way that someone who is non-medicated. So it might be okay for people who are medicated as long as you don't overdo it. Because some people do overdo it and then they end up having a bad day the next day or bad few days.
Well, honestly, everyone should kind of do it in moderation. But my dad used to say everything in moderation, including moderation, which means that most of the time you're, regulating yourself, you're moderating, but every now and then you can splurge.
Yeah, every now and again you
can
can
be that big of a
splurge.
deal, so it won't affect you that much or have too many consequences.
Are you gonna try it?
Yes.
I made her a special treat.
Why?
Is it spicy? It's just lime juice.
I licked the bottle. That was spicy, but the spice goes away when you drink. And that is limey. That's very good.
Wow. I didn't expect it to be spicy for you.
Well, you said chili.
It's chili powder.
Yeah, chili powder.
Well,
That's pretty spicy.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm really sensitive to hot foods and spices.
I wasted so much tahini on
I like
you.
spices. I like I'm
just kidding.
I'll use all of it.
You'll use all of it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the rush. I just have to quickly drink because it's just really intense, and I like intense sensations.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
It's gonna stop.
It's gonna stop. Yeah, it stopped. It's not coming up anymore. Okay. So alcohol in moderation is always the best idea. And yes, you can splurge every now and again, but it is better to take alcohol in doses. But if you want to drink and you want to get sober, non-alcoholic stuff is really good. Like this one still has 0.5% I don't know if you guys can see that. 0.5%. I know the first time I drank it, I got a little buzz off of it, but that was about it. She got a little headache. But
but I felt really good, and the headache did go away.
Yeah, it's a nice little buzz. That's about all it gives you is a nice little buzz. Not even a buzz. You have to drink more than one to get a buzz. But it's
I drank 6.
You did not.
I totally did. I kept buying them when you weren't looking.
Oh my goodness gracious. I have to control this woman. I swear. Like I literally have to babysit her.
At least it's not from alcohol anymore.
Yes, that's true. I'll give you that much. It was, but you were wasting money on alcohol at the bar.
Well, I didn't realize we could just buy it and have it at home.
Yeah, I know.
It's nice.
We should order some more.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. Oh yeah. Why do you keep doing that? Yours didn't do it. Sorry, getting distracted. Yeah, so
His beer's foaming up.
I actually take care of her. I think we've talked about this in a previous video. I take care of her. She had a heart attack and a stroke, and ever since she had the stroke, which was the first thing to happen, I've been taking care of her as her caregiver.
Yeah, and I literally can't drink anymore because I'm on a lot of heart medication and blood thinners.
Yeah.
And alcohol is a blood thinner, so.
Yeah, so that's why we have decided she's going to quit drinking for at least now.
At least now. I'll probably do it again someday, but in moderation.
You say that.
My new boyfriend, he said he wants to drink one time a month.
So are you going to, because you were supposed to do that and then you didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier when
someone else does it?
Yeah.
Where does he live, by the way?
5 minutes away.
Oh, you're going to move further away from him, though.
I know, but not until June.
It's so good.
I actually really like the tahini.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? It's got salt in it, too.
Okay.
That's what that white stuff is salt. So it gives it a little, like, salt and spice. Yeah. So I don't know if we have much to say on this. So maybe we should show our drinks and talk about something else. What do you think?
Sure, but I do have something to say about it. So I used to drink a lot. Like, my friends wanted to have an intervention because they thought I was an alcoholic. And when they said, why do you do this? Like, why do you like this so much? Why is it so hard for you to just drink a little bit? And it's because I would start drinking and I would start feeling good. And I would just want that feeling to stay. But I was actually really, really depressed. And the thing about alcohol is when you drink, even if it makes you happy,
it's a depressant. Sorry, not an anti, it's a depressant.
It's a depressant. And the remnants of it in your body and that hangover, like, that's your body trying to process the toxic overload and the depressant that has been put on your system. So yeah, it may feel good while you're drinking, but after you're drinking, after you're done and you're healing from it or recovering, that depression just comes back even harder. And it makes you want to drink again to feel that way again. And it just becomes this vicious cycle. So.
Sorry, there was a Scooby-Doo in the background. Not my cat Scooby-Doo, but Scooby-Doo the movie. With the dog, obviously. What other kind of Scooby-Doo would there be? Other than my cat, who is the coolest Scooby-Doo in the world. No joke. She is. She's even got the little Marilyn Monroe mark on her face. That's a beauty mark.
She has a calico.
She has, she wasn't born with the little mark on her face. That's why I call it a beauty mark instead of a birthmark. She wasn't born with it. When I got her, she didn't have that. As she got older, it grew in. So I call it her little beauty mark. She's so cute.
And she has a white nose and a white spiral on her side.
Yeah, actually, it's the Jack Skellington Mountain.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Yeah, it's the little. I. One of my voices pointed it out to me. I had never thought of it before, and then one of my voices was like, "Isn't that the Jack Skellington Mountain on her back?" And I was like, "Oh my God, it is." It looks exactly like the mountain too. Like you have to look at it just right. Anyways, let's talk about something. Let's talk about something else. Oh yeah.
Well,
I just want to have a dozen of those.
talking about spices, turmeric is really, really good for you, and it's actually anti-carcinogenic. So if you're smoking or you're quitting smoking, like it's a really good thing to add to your diet. And it's really orange, and it's just kind of like mildly sweet, but it doesn't really have a strong flavor. You can put it on almost anything, vegetable stir fries, chicken. Just add it with your other spices. And the other really cool thing is golden milk. That's where you make warm milk and you just put a bit of turmeric in there and you stir it up and it turns yellow, like gold. And it's super sweet and really helps you go to bed.
Well, why don't you do that more often?
I think I will. Speaking about me having to get on a schedule.
Yeah, right? So, let's talk a little bit more about mental illness as a gift, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm writing a paper right now for my master's project. Actually, it's my master's thesis. I'm writing it about mental illness as a spiritual gift. I'm pretty ecstatic about that because it is something that I've been writing about for a long time anyways. And now I've got all this information that is scholarly, like legit resources that you can use to say, this is scientific fact. Although in science, there is nothing that is fact. That is what they say. You can't, there's no such thing as fact in science because any fact can be proven wrong or right. Any fact. You can use all kinds of resources to prove anyone wrong or right. So there's no such thing as fact. I mean, the only thing that is fact is math. And even math can be still, in science, can still be proven wrong. Like, for instance, when you do a statistical research project, statistics is the math that they usually use in science. In science research, I should say, in research in general. And so when you do when you do statistics, let's say you grab 100 people. The 100 people are supposed to represent the mass of, let's say, schizophrenia, right? So those 100 people are supposed to represent all of schizophrenia, right? But how can you say that those 100 people represent all of schizophrenia when there are only just 100 people and every brain is different? Every brain is unique. So how can you say that they represent that? So they pull statistics from those 100 people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that another 100 people won't prove that scientific fact wrong, even though they just proved it right, if that makes sense. So that is my there's no such thing as fact spiel.
Yeah, because you could get 100 people who don't have schizophrenia or just a small amount, and they could say, oh yeah, only 1% of the population is schizophrenic. And then you can get us and our other friend and my cousins and put us all together, and then, well, guess what? There's a lot more of us now. So it really depends on the sample of the population.
I know a lot of schizophrenics in this
I know
world.
a lot of schizophrenics.
I know. There's people that watch too. Sorry, an alarm went off. There's people who watch my channel too that are schizophrenic, and I've made friends with some of them.
So what if they put all of us in a group? Well, guess what? 100% of the population is schizophrenic.
Yeah. It seems like a larger percentage than knowing how many people that we know. It does seem like a larger percentage, especially now with schizoaffective. It seems like there's a larger percentage of the universe. No, the world. The universe.
And then you also have people who don't have schizophrenia or schizoaffective, but they have depression with schizophrenic or not schizophrenic, psychotic features.
There's other diagnoses with psychotic features too, like bipolar.
Even bipolar.
Yeah, bipolar has psychotic features.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, there is a greater chance of running into someone who has had psychosis. That is very true.
I'm in a group on Facebook for neurodivergent people, and there are thousands. I mean, you should see how many people comment on a single post.
There's a lot of neurodivergence in the world.
Yeah, they call us neurodivergent or neurospicy.
I'm a part of schizophrenic groups on Facebook. I should invite you to some of them.
Yeah. And also, there's also the World Association for Hearing Voices.
Yep, actually, they say that everyone in the world hears voices, whether it's their own or whether it's someone else's. They hear voices in their head. And so hearing voices is a lot more common than you think. And
it just it depends on how your brain processes it. Does it process it as your voice, or does it process it as an external voice?
Yeah, mine are external. Mine are definitely external. And there's also, like, do you hear it in your head or do you hear it out loud? There's different types of hearing voices for sure. As far as mental illness as a spiritual gift, why don't you share what you learned from my...
Reading your thesis?
Yeah, why don't you share what you learned from reading my thesis?
Well, what I learned from the thesis is that when you have a disruptive experience like trauma or, pain or even just, anything that's disruptive in your life, you can actually grow from it. And while a therapist shouldn't force you to make meaning out of your pain and your suffering, at the same time, the client, the patient, whatever you want to call us, may benefit from being able to process their experiences in ways that make them, significant or have meaning or have, a spiritual essence. And so they can learn from it. Because it's not just about, what happened, but it's how they experience it, how they process it, and their worldview. Sometimes, like, I used to be really depressed, and I would get philosophical, and I would get nihilistic, and nothing helped me until my friend told me about absurdism. And absurdism is the coolest concept ever. It freed my mind. And once my mind was freed, I couldn't go back to nihilism. Thinking that the world was pointless and there was no meaning. And, because I wanted to be told the way to live. I wanted a way to know that what I was doing was the right thing. And no one could give me a solid answer. There were, too many different opinions. There were too many pathways. There were just... and also at the same time, I didn't want to be controlled by somebody. I didn't want to give up my agency. I just wanted ideas. And absurdism is a totally different concept. It's a concept that, so yes, there's no inherent meaning to life. But with that said, meaning is emergent. It is created by what we put our attention on, what we put our focus on. So you don't have to figure out what is the purpose of life itself, as if there was one singular purpose for everybody. No.
No, I think that the meaning of life is to find meaning. That's basically what I think the meaning of life is. Move this out of the way.
It's about the search for meaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about the search for meaning. You have your own meaning. I have my own meaning. We all have our own meaning. Each life has a meaning that is unique to their life because their life experiences are unique to them. No life is the same. There's no way to say life's meaning is this and that's generalized, because you can't
Right.
generalize it.
So if it matters to you, it matters.
Yeah, if it matters to you, it matters. And I think what I was doing today was a little bit of neuroscience was what I was working on today. Neuroscience. I'm trying to remember what I came up with neuroscience. Oh God, I wish I brought my computer in.
This is so good.
Did I bring my computer in? No, I didn't. So neuroscience, as far as it goes, there was a lot of like really good information. I can't think of any off the top of my head though.
What about, can we talk about neuroplasticity?
That was actually one of the things that they talked about in there, and was neuroplasticity. There was like neuroplasticity, and there was, what was the other thing? There was something else. Oh my God, I just had it too. I can't think of it. Go ahead.
So neuroplasticity is really amazing because as you get new ideas, new information, and you begin to have, new actions, new behaviors, and eventually new habits or new hobbies, your brain begins to rewire, and it trims old things that aren't useful anymore and kind of cleans them out. And it also creates new neurons and new connections. So the more you focus your attention on something, the more it will actually change the physical structure of your brain.
Yeah. There was so I'm probably going to do a video about what I wrote about. I'm probably going to read some stuff from my master's thesis, because I do want people to understand that while I don't think that your delusions are accurate, maybe your hallucinations are something real, if that makes sense. Because I don't think that delusions are ever real. There's nothing that could make them real. For the most part, every delusion I've ever heard has always been something outlandish. And so it's hard to make that real. But for your hallucinations, there's a lot of things that could be real, about it. So I do think that, take it for what it is, and maybe you do have something spiritually going on with you. Not everybody is going to have, hi Tabitha, not everybody is going to have something spiritual going on with them though. But
we are spiritual beings in physical bodies. So,
Tabs, you want to say hi?
Tabitha. Tabby.
Tabby. Come here. Come
He's
here,
thinking
baby.
about it.
Come on, baby boy. Say hi. Say hi. Did I put my hand in your way? Come here. Come here. There you go. He just laid down. What a cutie. What a cutie.
He's like, okay, slap time.
I love you, little man. I love you. You're a good boy. He's the only man in my life. I tell him all the time. He's the only man in my life. Yes, yes, you are. Other than me, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm the man of my life. Yes. Aw, yeah, but you're a good man. You're a good man. Yes, you are. You're just a good man.
He's just a lover ball.
He's just a good little man. Yes. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I got all enthralled with the cat.
It's okay. You're drunk.
I'm not drunk. Stop it. I am probably buzzed because I haven't had one of these in quite a few days now, so I am probably getting a little buzzed off of them. But I'm not drunk. Don't tell people that. They'll think I'm getting drunk. Getting drunk over here. No, but he's drunk. Huh, Mr. Man? Drunk on love.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I will be doing a video about my master's thesis. I want people to know what kind of scientific stuff that I came up with. And of course, I'll have her come along because she's the one who's reading it for me before my teacher reads it. This is just a rough draft, and I don't know what I'm going to do when she's like, oh, yeah, you need to correct all of it. Like, no. There's some things that I'm nervous. There's some things I'm nervous about. Like, I found some papers that were, or articles that were old, and I used them, and I don't know if she's going to be like, you need to, because when she had me searching, she's like, oh, search within 2015 to now. And I was like, okay. And so I was searching 2015 to now, but I've been doing more research on Google Scholar and all of that. And I found a lot of articles, but some of them are older. And I don't know if my teacher's going to be like, you can't use these. I'm like, damn it. Yeah. Yeah, but I hope she's okay with it because there's not a lot of like recent, like, it's not a very research subject, obviously. It's not a very research subject. Mental illness as a spiritual gift, like what do you expect, right? Not a lot of people are researching or doing research projects on that, because they don't think that it's scientific. They don't think that there's any science behind it. They don't think there's proof to prove that somebody has a spiritual gift instead of this. But, I mean, psychics are real. They use them in police, like in crimes, at the police crimes. You know what I'm trying to say. Trying to think of the right words to use, but I can't think of them. But they use them on investigations into murders. They use psychics to determine like where the body was placed, or if maybe they can talk to their read their mind, or like just things like that. They've been able to use people like that. There is actually research on telepathy as a spiritual gift that actually proves that it's real. That some people do have telepathy. Everyone has access to the same system to be able to use telepathy. Some people are more gifted in it than others, though, because it's the universal mind. Basically, we all are connected to the universal mind, but only some of us have like a clear pathway to the universal mind, while some of us have blockages blocking us from the universal mind. So we don't necessarily all have access to telepathy. I thought I had telepathy. That was like the one delusion that I was like so sure I had. Oh, I could read minds. I was so sure because like I was able to use it in situations. Like, is that crazy? Like, I've been able to get out of bad situations, do things by what I thought was reading minds.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Tabitha.
didn't you mention
Just put a tail in a vase.
didn't you mention having a thought of what somebody was gonna say, and then the second later they text you that exact like?
I do. I have had many times where I'm hearing them say something in my head, hearing them say it, and then all of a sudden they text it to me. I have to be really close with that person though to be able to hear it. Like I have to like really care about them, I think. And that's the thing that I wrote in my book that I think we talked about already. You have to make things matter for you to be able to get in tune with them. So for you to be able to feel someone's energy, you have to make them matter. That's why empaths are called sensitives, because, well, they're all sensitives. But if you think about it, an empath can feel someone else's emotions. Their emotional IQ is probably really high because they can feel other people's emotions. And an empath, like gets in tune with someone else. So they obviously feel, how do I explain this? They are sensitive to the other person. They care about the other person. That's what I was trying to say. They care about the other person enough to understand their emotions so much so that they take it on. So that is, yeah. So that's why I think, like, that's why I explain in my book that making other things matter, making other people, things, life, make it matter. When you make it matter, when you care about it, when you make it matter enough to you, then you are in tune with it. But you have to really make it matter. You can't just say, oh, I made that matter and I thought about it and I cared about it. But you have to really make it matter and really care about it. Like, you have to have strong emotions for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you have to really be invested. Like for criminal telepathy with criminals, I think what they make matter is not necessarily the other person, but they make the solving the crime matter. They want to solve the crime so much so that they get in tune with the criminal. Or it's the same with like psychics who go out there and find a dead body for the police station. So they make solving the crime matter so much so that they go out and they solve the crime for them.
Yeah. So speaking of the the psychics who find criminals, and honestly just anyone who has psychic abilities, the interesting thing about that is they aren't considered to have mental illness. They don't have a disorder. So the whole idea of having a disorder is based on whether or not your symptoms are being disruptive in your life,
or whether or not they're considered, whether or not you can prove them right. How's that?
Yeah.
So if you're delusional because you believe that, but it's only because you couldn't prove that it was real. That kind of thing.
Right.
But
what if you can find evidence for it? What if you can fact check it? What if you can verify it or validate it, or you have witnesses? Or what if it just helps you in some way? It helps you process an emotion, or it helps you process a situation, or it gives you some kind of truth. Then what?
I agree 100%.
Yeah. You can't just go to a therapist and go, okay, here are your symptoms. I'm going to give you medication that's going to take these symptoms away.
Well, therapists won't give you medication.
Well, psychologists,
Psychologists won't give you medication.
They prescribe it.
Not in California, they don't.
Oh, they don't?
No, psychologists are not allowed to prescribe medicine. Psychiatrists prescribe medicine. They're the only ones allowed to prescribe medicine right now in California. I know.
Well, I went to the mental
I want
hospital
to.
and they put me on medication. I never remember talking to a psychiatrist.
It's usually a psychiatrist that you talk to when they give you medication.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned this in my classes. They want to make psychologists able to, because they're doctors. Psychologists are doctors. Because I'm becoming a psychologist. I'm working on becoming a psychologist. They want to make them prescribe because they actually know more about the patient than a psychiatrist would. Psychiatrist sees you for 15 minutes. A psychologist sees you for an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
so they want to let psychologists prescribe, but right now it has to be passed. A law has to be passed for them to be able to do that.
Well, it's kind of nice actually to have a team on your side, because the psychologist can go in depth and then summarize it and share that with the psychiatrist, and then the psychiatrist can kind of like review it with you and then make sure that they're actually giving you the right kind of medicine.
Yeah, it is good to have a team. That's why you have, a psychologist is, I really want to prescribe medicine eventually. I think it would be amazing to prescribe medicine. But you have to go through a whole nother couple of classes before you can prescribe. There are some states in America that allow psychologists to prescribe, but they have to go back to school, take a few more courses, and then they get licensed. They have to get licensed, so they have to take a test and get licensed to prescribe.
So they have the knowledge about the medications?
Yeah. Right now I'm in a pharmacology class. So they already train us to know about medicine. They want us to know about medicine, but they don't actually let you prescribe, which sucks.
Yeah. I think I would be interested in going to therapy if I could find something called a depth psychologist.
That was something you learned about
in your thesis. Yeah, if I could have the kind of therapy that's in his thesis, I would actually go to therapy. But until they do that, I don't really see the point. Because I've been, my own therapist for so long, and I've become really, really good at it. But I didn't always have the most healthy coping mechanisms. So
it's so weird to hear people call me he, because I still get, like, my mom still calls me she, and Anne still calls me she, and like some people still call me she because they just aren't used to it yet, and they don't know how to get used to it, so they're still calling me she, but I think they'll get used to it eventually.
I've been working on it.
I really like hearing he.
Yeah, I've been actively practicing, even when Cupid's not here, referring to him in his proper pronouns.
Yeah, I think when they're not around is the best time to practice, because then when they are around, then you can respect their boundaries,
Exactly.
Yeah. So so anything else we should talk about?
Can we talk about the role the worldview plays in mental health?
I think we got about 20 minutes to do.
Okay.
It's going to be an hour-long video, though. Doesn't matter. Well, people will watch it if they want to watch it.
Exactly, if they find it interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need to see the whole video for it to count as being watched.
No. You can watch it for 30 seconds and it still counts as being watched. You can watch it for 2 seconds and it still counts as being watched. Views. I get paid per view. I don't know if I get paid yet, but I'm gonna get paid soon. Hopefully.
Cheers.
Not per view, per
so nice
1,000
to be able
views,
to do that
actually.
again.
Mm-hmm.
I love the little rituals.
So, what were you saying you wanted us to talk about? The worldview.
The role of worldview in mental health.
Oh yeah, damn, that could be a whole nother video. Yeah, the role that the world plays, society puts a very bad damper on mental health. They make it seem like we're these, like, especially schizophrenia, like they just make us out to be these like evil demons. Actually, the worst one right now is borderline personality disorder. Apparently that one is like I've heard classmates go and like, oh my god, my mom has borderline personality disorder and I just hate being around her. I can't stand her. Like there's people who are talking, they talk crap about him and they work in the field. And I just can't, I don't that's bad. That's really bad. That's, yeah, when you're working in the field and you're talking bad about a mental health disorder. But apparently, like, they're known to be narcissists or something like that.
I've heard that they just have really extreme emotions. Or
they have extreme emotions. They also have, like, personality issues. And it's not, like, necessarily, like, because it's a personality disorder, but it's not necessarily, like, personality issues. It's an issue with their personality. They don't have, like, multiple personalities or anything like that. They just have an issue with their personality. But they are known to be a little bit more violent, a little bit more. They definitely
harsh.
They have some bad stuff with them. But that's not to say that all people with borderline personality are the same. Just like people always assumed about schizophrenia, that schizophrenia was a violent, dangerous disorder. We are actually more likely to be the victim of a violent crime than we are to be the violent criminal. I learned that in my criminal psychology class. I'm so glad I took that too. I took that in my bachelor's. Yeah, so we're more likely to be the victim of a violent crime than we are to be the violent criminal. Even though there are a lot, we are portrayed in society as the violent criminal. You watch Criminal Minds or any of those little criminal shows, usually the murderer is a schizophrenic.
They blame the voices for their actions.
Yeah, and then they say, oh yeah, they were delusional and crazy. I think there was this one show where his mom, which one was that one? It was a criminal show. It was it might have been Criminal Minds. I don't know. But his mom was schizophrenic and they portrayed it more so like schizophrenia than any other show I've watched, but it was still a little like outrageous. Like she's not that, I mean, she can't be that bad, right? like I don't know. It's I guess maybe I don't ever see it from the outside.
Yeah.
I can't be that crazy, can I?
Talking about voices like telling us what to do, like from my perspective, this is how it is. If someone tells you to jump off a bridge, are you gonna do it? Or are you gonna be like, hey, I heard you, but you don't command me, and I'm
like that.
I'm not gonna jump off a bridge.
Yeah, I'm like that. I will tell them, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't cuss on camera.
So just because a voice tells you what to do does not mean you have to listen to it, because the voices, they're not you. They don't represent your true form or your true feelings, anything that's truly aligned with you, unless they do. But you're the one who decides. You're the observer. You get to decide, pick and choose what you do, what you learn, what you teach. So.
I agree.
And the other thing too is your hallucinations. They might actually be showing like a deeper side of you, and it doesn't mean that they are, you, like, if you see something scary, that doesn't mean you're secretly scary or dark or evil. It just means that sometimes hallucinations can actually resonate with you and show you something that has been like sitting in your subconscious and doesn't have any other form of expression. So
Yeah, like I notice I've had 3 major episodes, 1 minor. The 3 major episodes and the 1 minor one. Every single one of them, I had a girl I was in love with, and um, and I absolutely like was head over heels in love with them. I mean, I didn't love them as much as I loved my last ex, but I loved them a lot, and I was like, oh my God, we're meant to be. I can read their mind. Like we're meant to be. They can read my mind too, or whatever. Like I'm just like in this, and I know that for me, it's because I fully believe in true love. I totally believe in it. And I think because I believe fully in that, I want this love story. And so because I wanted this love story so bad, I built these worlds to live in where my fantasy came true, where my true love was here with me, and we were reading each other's minds, and they were talking to me while watching me on camera because they wanted to prove that I can read minds and blah blah blah. Like, every single time, it was the same thing. And I guess maybe I also really wanted to be something greater. Like, I always wanted to be something amazing to this world, something unique, something out of this world. And if I could read minds, that would mean that I am unique and out of this world. And so that's kind of what I was like, hoping for. Is so I think that's why my delusions create this scenario for me. It's my own brain creating something that I want to be real. You know what I mean? So if that makes sense, I want it to be real.
yeah. And my hallucinations when I was a teenager, the first thing I created when I was 11 years old was a mother figure, kind of like a earth mother. And I think it's because I was craving like maternal care and guidance. And my mom at the time had become quite an alcoholic, and she was there for me and she loved me, but she wasn't there really. And I needed more attention, presence. So and later these weird images came about, like one voice introduced itself as a picture, and it was a woman, a blonde woman, standing on a hill surrounded by a ring of mushrooms and butterflies. And she was wearing a dark cloak and robe, like a grim reaper. And in one hand she was holding a sickle, like the kind that you use to chop people's heads off. And the other hand she was holding, a scythe. Sorry, she was holding a scythe. And the other one she was holding a sickle, which you use to harvest plants. And there was a rainbow overhead. And this image came directly out of my subconscious. And when she started talking to me, she started talking a lot about transforming pain into pleasure, transforming suffering into strength, the differences between night and dark, night and day, light and dark, hot and cold. I mean, that we live in this world full of paradoxes and things that contradict each other, and like trying to reconcile that. Death and love, all of it, and rebirth. was a big theme. Rebirth and transformation. So, you know, I spent a couple years just focused on that. And I really have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, we can be done. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We probably won't. We'll try to cut them shorter. Maybe not do so long, but we like talking about these subjects, so maybe, you know, we can do more videos. More videos. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. You just chill right there.
All right.
That's cool.
Bye. This is Cupid putting lime and tahini in the non-alcoholic beer.
Tahine.
Tahini. I think it's spelled Tajin.
Yep. It's delicious.
What does it taste like?
It's lime and chili powder. It's not super spicy though. Don't worry. I know you don't like spicy. It's not super spicy. It's not really. It's like chili powder. Have you ever had chili powder?
Yeah. He puts it on the outside of the bottle too.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. There's the first one. There we go.
Fancy.
Fancy dancy. This is the only way I drink beer. I'm so weird. No, I swear, this is why I'm so glad they have non-alcoholic Coronas. Because Corona used to be my favorite. Because I would do this. This is the only beer that you can really do this with. It's a Mexican beer. And it's a light Mexican beer. It's not like a dark shaded one either. You can't really do it with a dark shaded one like an IPA or something. There we go. I'm like really dousing this one. All right, this one's done now too. Your sink is really dirty, but we'll wash it out.
That's okay. It's just powder.
Oh, it's so good.
And just spice. All right.